Hey, welcome back to the Maverick channel. Well, if you're new here, welcome. And if you've already been here, thank you for coming back. Guys, thank you for watching. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. It's just a tiny click for you, but it means the world to me. And it gives me so much pleasure to have you guys here with me, traveling on this journey and trying to figure this out. Okay, so today, wherever you might be, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's a Sunday for me right now. I wanted to bring you this video just because of how important it is. It's going to be a short one, just trying to review what the significance of what we're seeing here, these three companies, the consortium of these three companies. So what you're seeing here is Catena X. I've done a video about Catena X. Catena X is a company. I was intending to first explain the other aspects of the video, but let me just start from Catena X itself. Catena X is a company that is based in Germany, right? So it's recognized by Germany, by the ministry in Germany. It's recognized by different automotive industries. It's a consortium that's partnering with another federated company called Gaia X. So Gaia X is, trying to deal with data aggregation, the whole aspect of data monetization in the future in Europe, to try and gather all companies within Europe, especially that are deeply embedded within this whole data economy that's coming up. So Catena X, this company that I want to talk about today, is embedded or is focusing on data that's mainly embedded within the automotive industry. So the founding partners of this company are mainly automotive companies. So Catena X, the Alliance for Secure Cross-Company Data Exchange in the Automotive Industry, is picking up speed. Let me just read this really quick. I'm not going to read through the whole thing. So the automotive industry, so through cooperation to the top, that's what that word in German means. So the automotive industry is shaping the digital transformation hosted by the German Federal Ministry for Economic Affairs and Energy and the German Association for the Automotive Industry. So the founders of the Automotive Alliance are sharing a progress report as well as further details on the initiative. The founders of the partner network include, that Catena X company or group that I'm talking about, these are all partners within there. There's BMW, Deutsche Telekom, Robert Bosch GmbH, which is something we want to focus on in a bit, SAP SE, Siemens, Friedrichshafen, and so additional companies have joined the initiative. We have Volkswagen within this initiative. We have Mercedes-Benz, BASF. I don't know all these companies, but some of them, Heiko. So all these companies are within this consortium. So the Automotive Alliance will operate under the name Catena X Automotive Network. Now, you need to understand the significance of Catena X. This is a new thing that most people aren't aware of. So thank goodness you're aware of it by, showing up here, or you had already heard about it. So these huge automotive companies understand the future of data. They understand the future of the automotive industry with autonomous vehicles and the importance of data sharing and transparency. So they're like, let's form a consortium where we can have standardized data to better our efficiency if we want to compete in the future of the automotive industry, and not just compete, but cooperate in a sense that we create a safe automobile future, if you say. And just the way you see the weather industry. So it doesn't matter if countries have differences. Countries, the US, Russia, China, any other country, India, whatever, no matter what differences they have with each other, they need to cooperate when it comes to weather, because they have flights coming in and out, they have ships delivering goods, so they need to know the weather data status. So it's the same thing here. The automotive industry is coming together to have these standardized data aggregation knowledge so that they can create a better and more efficient future in the automotive industry. Now, Catena X has these three specific companies which you focus on today. Bosch Global, which you've mentioned, you guys all know it's a multi-billion-dollar company. So Bosch Global, BigChainDB is a company that has also joined Catena X, representing Ocean Protocol. You all know Ocean Protocol, the data aggregation blockchain that's it was one of the first blockchains that that was specifically formed for data monetization within the blockchain ecosystem. And Fetch.ai was formed in about 2018. In this channel I've covered Fetch.ai a lot, and I've done a very conclusive video about Fetch.ai. So basically the consortium of these three companies cannot be understated. Ocean Protocol, which is being represented by BigchainDB, Bosch Global, a multi-billionaire company that's dealing in the automotive industry and has this trying to set up this thing called economy of things. And then Fetch.ai, which is using multi-agent systems to basically change the way we deal with data, change the way machines communicate with each other, and change the way humans communicate with machines through the use of autonomous economic agents. So let me quickly, I don't want to go too much into Bosch because I mean it's a very huge company, but so let me just read some of this really quick. Bosch is one of the founding members of Catena-X, which has been operating as an association in the founding phase since May 7th. Catena-X Automotive Network, as a leading IoT Internet of Things company, Bosch is researching into an economy of things. So in the economy of things, the economic aspect of interactions is added to the Internet of Things. The company's Economy of Things project addresses the question of how network devices can do business with each other for the benefit of citizens and businesses. With decades of experience in the automotive sector, Bosch also brings extensive industry expertise, which will be improved further by harnessing Economy of Things principles and mechanisms. So essentially, the consortium, I think people may not properly understand BigchainDB. So let me first quickly talk about BigchainDB. So I was researching about BigchainDB. I think you've all heard of MongoDB. So the programmers can use MongoDB to create applications through using JSON and other tables, using that infrastructure to create applications in an easy functional way. So BigchainDB is sort of doing that, but focusing on asset classes, focusing on tokenizing everything. And I was trying to look for a proper definition of what they do, and I found it here in this page that talks about a transaction model. If you're a programmer and you go into the use cases under this page, which is key concepts of BigchainDB, when you're trying to find guides, you're actually trying to find the definition of what is create and what is transfer. This is why I found the best definition of what they're trying to do. So the first thing to understand about BigchainDB is how we structure our data. So traditional SQL databases structure data in tables. NoSQL databases use other formats to structure data such as JSON and key values, as well as tables. So at BigchainDB, we structure data as assets. We believe anything can be represented as an asset. The asset can characterize any physical or digital object that you can think of, like a car, a data set, or an intellectual property right. So these assets can be registered on BigchainDB in two ways: by users in create transactions, transferred or updated to other users in transfer transactions. And traditionally, people design applications focusing on business processes, e.g. apps for booking and processing client orders, apps for tracking delivery of products, etc. At BigchainDB, we don't focus on processes, rather on assets. So e.g. a client order can be an asset that is then tracked across its entire life cycle. This switch in perspective from a process-centric towards an asset-centric view influences much of how we build applications. And then here they show you how to visualize that. And you look at, which I'll go into that, which I'll unpack that in a bit. So, because I don't want this video to be too long. So you look at, when you go to their research page, you also notice that they do interplanetary databases. Now, if you've looked at this platform called Unstoppable Domains, you can purchase domains that cannot be censored on the Ethereum network using the Unstoppable Domains. So these domains communicate on something called the interplanetary IPFS, Interplanetary File System. So these people have something they're researching in, which is the interplanetary database. And from what I know with Interplanetary File System, it's something that it's uncensored, distributed, and you can easily move data around within that ecosystem. So it's amazing stuff. So quickly, BigchainDB here shows us some of the features. They, of course, since they want to basically deal with the data economy by by using assets or by changing everything into assets. If you know of NFTs, NFTs will change the world, non-fungible tokens. So basically everything changes to NFTs. It can be moved from one place to another. So BigchainDB is doing that by tokenizing everything in the way they deal with data, in the way they deal with transactions, as you know, as the previous definition told us. So they want to have the core aspects of distributed ledger technologies or blockchain technologies, which is decentralization, immutability, Byzantine fault tolerance. If Byzantine fault tolerance is new to you, actually you can watch the video I did yesterday about the Cosmos network. It's Byzantine is like a Byzantine is like an error or a bad player. So one of the main things that proof of work chains solve or other consensus algorithms is preventing these bad players. So as long as less than a third of the bad actors, as long as the bad actors are less than a third of a network, then it cannot be affected, cannot be changed. So it maintains the core values of immutability, decentralization, and prevents things like double spending. So customizable, design your own private network. It's open source. Query, write and run any MongoDB query to search. So you can also use things like MongoDB, native support for multi-assets. So apparently, you know, with no native currency, they don't have a native currency, so you can build any asset or token or currency can be issued. So they're tapping into that aspect of interoperability. And again, the video I did about Cosmos also, you know, you should look into Cosmos. These things are not competing. Like this is something completely different, but it's interesting that they're implementing these things there. I'm learning with you as well. Low latency, you know, scalability is a very important thing to solve. Rich permissioning, set permissions at transaction level to ensure a clear separation of duties. You can create public or private chains. It's very interesting. It's very interesting they're tackling these things. So you can see how massive or how optimistic or how big BigchainDB, no pun intended, is trying to be, and how important they are to this whole ecosystem. Now, the company they represent is Ocean Protocol. So let's briefly look at Ocean Protocol. Ocean Protocol unlocks the value of data. Data owners and consumers use Ocean Market app to publish, discover, and consume data assets in a secure, privacy-preserving fashion. Ocean holders stake liquidity to data pools. Developers use Ocean libraries to build their own data wallets, exchanges, and more. Ocean data tokens turn data into data assets. This enables data wallets, data exchanges, data co-ops by leveraging crypto wallets, exchanges. So you can see to participate in DeFi. So you can see the parallels between obviously BigchainDB and Ocean Protocol. So they have this amazing place or marketplace where you can actually use their Ocean token to come and purchase data, which I guess you can purchase later. You can see products on Amazon, process, product pages. You can purchase this. I think this is popular. I can see in the pool, there's so many Ocean tokens. So you can buy data here directly using the Ocean token, and then you can sell it. And you can see the parallels in the sense that when you read through the page, you discover that these purchases and these movements of data can also be tokenized. So everything is moved as a token. This is similar to the whole NFT thing. NFTs is that you create art and then you tokenize that art and then you can move it from one point to another. So this is very similar. And actually some of the features, if we go back to BigchainDB, some of the features are, if you go to, there's a page that shows you how you can create NFTs with BigchainDB. So these, you can see these patterns there, and they're very, very meaningful patterns. Let's look at the summary. BigchainDB is for developers and organizations looking for a queryable database with blockchain characteristics such as decentralization, immutability, and the ability to treat anything stored in the database as an asset. So whether it's atoms, bits, actually that's not what I wanted. Okay, so you look at, they look into intellectual property, license work, track usage. They provide transparent audits and all that. They look into the supply chain, identity, government-related things. Blockchain technology can help to improve the efficiency and services of government. Blockchain technologies can be applied in every area of government, identify services, you know, and they have their white paper down there. There was somewhere where they summarized, it's here, I think. Yeah, Yeah, blockchain DB is complementary to decentralized processing and communication building blocks. It can be used side by side with higher level decentralized computing platforms and applications and protocols for identity, financial assets, intellectual property, sidechains. BigChain DB fills a gap in the decentralized stack. So you can see the parallels, you know, it's backing Ocean Protocol, and you can see that there's that connection. Then of course there's Fetch.ai. I don't have to say much about Fetch.ai. Many of my viewers know about Fetch.ai. If you do not know about Fetch.ai, please go see the video I did about Fetch.ai in this. I think I'll post it somewhere in the link up there. Fetch.ai is beautiful, you know, multi-agent systems, collective learning in machine learning. They're using autonomous economic agents and, you know, personal assistants, these things that can communicate with other platforms, other networks, other machines, allow machine-to-machine interaction, make the whole process of data a transaction very easy. You don't even need to keep track of it. The more these personal agents, these autonomous economic agents being built on the Fetch AI ecosystem, you can personalize them to yourself by building them through private keys. So of course you build an agent that's attached to a private key, which is of course attached to you, and they keep on collecting this data that cannot be accessed by anyone except you, because you're the one with private keys, and they can make so many decisions on your behalf. They can go into supply chain, they can go into purchasing, they can go into DeFi as stop loss agents. They can be used to build oracles for any kind of ecosystem, you know, to bring knowledge off and on chain. So the point I'm trying to make is that if you're out there, do not underestimate this consortium. Bosch, BigChain DB, which is representing Ocean Protocol, and Fetch.ai. This is big. Literally, if you're finding this out right now, this is something that's new. So you're at the forefront of something that's new. This is something that's becoming really big in Europe. This is something that's recognized by the authorities in Europe. This is something recognized by innovators in Europe and private and massive organizations, both those that have been established and those that are upcoming. So don't just see a tweet about Katina X, Bosch, BigChain DB, Fetch AI, and you, oh, okay, some other consortium within the blockchain industry. Okay, we've seen many of those. No, we have not. This is very, very big, and this is not investment advice that maybe go buy Ocean tokens or Fetch AI tokens. No, this is a plea to you to go do your own research, dig deeper into what this means. I'm just trying to bring it to the surface and try to emphasize how massive, because these partners are all connected, interconnected. When you dig deep into the pieces, they're all trying to tackle the same things, and then eventually remove that friction between these blockchain technologies. Make it smooth, make them parallel in the way they operate, eliminate scalability and all these things. Okay, as I always say, not to stretch out this for so long. I'm glad I've sort of provided some value for you guys. Please look into this. It sucks that we're in a bear market, but I think this is the best time to receive education and understand where you want to be when the next bull run comes, or where you want to be for the future, or where you want to be for your investment prospects. Thank you for watching. Have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.